This is a performing songwriter, and my name is Ray Naylor. My guest today is LisaBeth Weber. In addition to being a performing songwriter, she's also a writer, an artist, a speaker, and probably more. She is open for artists including Nanci Griffith, Ralph Stanley, and Roy Clark. I'll be back in a couple minutes to talk to LisaBeth, but first, here she is singing one of her original songs here on The Performing Songwriter.
This is a song I wrote called Trouble Man, and it's about linemen working in dangerous storm conditions. And they used to call them troublemen, so I called the song Trouble. There's a trouble man up on the wire, and when the storms come, he's flying high. The many don't know the few who keep it safe for me and safe for you. And I know it's no walk in the park when some feel like they're left in the dark. But I say thanks for all that you have done. You bring light back to everyone. Some may say it goes with the territory as they pass you by along the road. But I wonder what's his story could be the greatest one ever told. And I know it's no walk in the park when some feel like they're left in the dark. I say thanks for all that you have done. You bring light back to everyone. And we'll weather the storm until it passes, until we meet again. We'll drink our toast to second chances, no matter where, no matter when. There's a trouble man up on the wire, and when the storms come, he's flying high. So don't look away when you see him. Just say thanks to the man up in the sky. And I know it's no walk in the park when some feel like they're left in the dark. Say thanks for all that you have done. You bring light back to everyone. I say thanks for all that you have done. You bring light back to everyone.
LisaBeth, thanks for coming on.
Sure. Hi, Ray. It's so good to see you.
Now, I was reading, I guess, probably in your bio or somewhere, that you wrote your first song when you were 5 years old.
Yes, I did. It was called Who Left the Ice Out? And I was 5 years old. Yep. It went, who left the ice out? Who left the ice out? Not me. Was it you? Hey, maybe it was two.
When was it before you started actually performing your own material?
It was, I kind of like in my early 20s, early to mid 20s when I moved to Pennsylvania. I mean, I performed in high school, and I was in all the choruses and the school plays, and I played violin as a kid and a little bit of flute and a lot of piano. And then my mom taught me guitar when I was 13, so it all kind of moved forward, and I started, in earnest in my 20s, early 20s.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you do is you're a speaker.
I do occasional speaking, yes, and I hope to be doing more of that in the future. I did a TEDx talk on creativity, which was super exciting and thrilling, and it was an honor to do it. And it came out of a feeling of people would come to me and say like, oh, you're so creative, I'm not creative at all. And it kind of was cumulative. And what I was taking from it is people were not seeing themselves as creative. And it was kind of a little bit upsetting, or a lot upsetting to me, because I think everyone is creative, even if they don't know it yet. So, I turned it into a talk, and I'm working on a book about it, because I think that creativity is, it's kind of in the eye of the beholder in a way, and it takes on so many forms, and just because someone isn't necessarily in the arts does not mean they are not creative. So I'm kind of out there to change the zeitgeist on that.
Have you found that your musical performance history has helped you with speaking, and also the other way around?
I think the first part that you said, I think having performed for a lot of years gives you a little bit of a some experience to be speaking. But it is kind of different though, and it can be, I get a little nervous. I have to have a little talk with myself before I go out. But I remember, I think it was Mary Chapin Carpenter, but don't hold me to that, who said, if you're not a little bit nervous, you're bored, or something like that, totally paraphrasing. But that quote or that paraphrase has helped me a lot, because, I take it to mean if you're a little nervous, it's okay, because it means you're interested and you're excited, and
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. We did the first song you did today was "Troubled Man,"
Yeah.
and that made it into a movie called "Life on the Line" with starring John Travolta.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, right. Have you had other songs in film or TV?
The best answer to that is not yet. It's out there. I have, in a limited capacity, I've had a song in an independent film, an independent feature film called The North Star, and then I've had a song in the end of a kind of mini documentary that was about music, things like that. But that is one of my bucket list, dream things, to have more songs placed in film, television, commercials. I have this thing about, when I hear people saying that if someone gets a song in a commercial, some people, not all people, say, oh, they're selling out. And I absolutely, completely disagree. I think that if you are lucky enough to get your song placed in a commercial and get paid well for it, that means that you are making a good living as a working songwriter. And these days, especially as the way people hear music it continues to evolve, it's harder and harder. So I say, more power to you. My latest favorite with that is a musician from Scotland named John Taylor, who has this beautiful song called "Break My Bones" in the State Farm commercial. And, it led me to finding his whole catalog of music, and he's a brilliant songwriter, and I'm just so happy for him that this happened to him. And it happened with Joe Purdy, and a lot of people remember when Nick Drake's song "Pink Moon" broke on the Volkswagen commercial. So there you go.
How about Antje Duvekot?
Antje Duvekot.
Bank of America, I think.
Antje is a dear friend from many, many, many years. She actually sang harmonies on one of my records. She sang harmony on 6 songs. And she's a brilliant musician and songwriter and player and a wonderful soul. And yes, when she had the song Merry Go Round, I think it was, on the Bank of America commercial, and I was just so happy for her.
for that, what was the name of this movie again? Life on the Line. How did that come about?
Well, it's a long story, and I know we don't have too much time, but my mom, who is a big influence on my music, she taught me guitar when I was 13 years old, and she's a singer and played guitar in a band in the 50s. She found out that this movie was going to be happening, and she said, you have to send them your song, because my song is about linemen, and the film is all about linemen working in storms. And I know it's not, that easy to do, but through a series of sleuthing events, I found the executive producer of the film, and I sent him a message. And he wrote back to me the next morning, and he said, I sent him my song, and he said, I know your song. I bought it on iTunes 2
Oh,
years
really?
ago. And I said, oh, you're the one who bought it on iTunes. But anyway, one thing led to another. It was just one of those, it had a lot to do with social media. So when people, say negative things about social media, I know that there can be a lot of bad stuff on social media, but this is one of the good things. And
Cool.
I'm very grateful. And it's Life on the Line with John Travolta. And my song is actually the very, very, very end of the credits. So you have to stick it out all the way to the end, the very end, the last 30 seconds. So, yeah.
Now, you're involved with I think you're on the board of an organization called Playing for Change.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about the organization and your involvement in it.
Sure. So, Playing for Change, first of all, a lot of people might be familiar with Playing for Change. There's two arms to Playing for Change. A lot of people might know this viral video of Stand By Me with musicians playing all around the world on the same song. And there's dozens and dozens of videos and songs like this, but that's the most well-known one. And it just recently reached 100 million views on YouTube. So it's the one where people go, oh, I love that. And it was a movement built by Mark Johnson and Whitney Cronkey to bridge the unity of music and peace and education across landscapes around the world in developing countries. And no matter, music is such a bridge. So even if through hard times and poverty and war, music can bring people together, and it's a common universal language. So about 10 years ago, that evolved into the nonprofit side of Playing for Change, which is Playing for Change Foundation. And what we do is we build music schools for kids to have free access to music education around the world in mostly developing countries, but not only. And we're about to launch early in 2018 a sister school program here in the United States, which I am really excited about. But we have programs in West Africa, South Africa, Thailand, Bangladesh, Argentina, Mexico, all different places, and it's a phenomenal organization. And the people that get involved are everyone from, a musician who is playing in some small village in their community, all the way up to Bono and Jimmy Buffett and David Crosby and Los Lobos and Keb Mo. Keb Mo has been a huge support of Playing for Change. So it's a really, really wonderful organization to be part of. I feel like honored to be a part of it.
Cool.
In my own small way, yeah.
Now, we're going to hear 3 more of your songs.
Great.
But before we do, I'm going to play a portion of a video of our next guest. And I want to make
who
sure
is it?
I made to make sure I say Julie's name correct. Julia Levitina.
Great.
And
Can't wait to hear.
She's also a sculptor.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, one of her sculptures recently was George Washington University or one of those down there.
Wow.
Yeah, a nice big sculpture.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
And this particular song, which is actually a slideshow with one of her songs underneath, and this song is called Rubicon.
Rubicon. Okay.
So we'll listen to Julia. She's guest next time, and then LisaBeth will be back to sing more of her songs.
Do you wish upon the stars? Watch them sparkle and fade. Would you dance in the dark?
This song is called Middle Ground, and when it comes to the gun debate, I just think it's really important to find a middle ground so that we can all be as safe as possible. Where is everybody going? Where is everybody running trouble? Seems to find the one so innocent. What is the world coming to when left and right can't talk their way through trouble? Seems to find us everywhere we go. It's the guns, it's not the guns, must be the people, not the people. Can we all agree to disagree, but find our way together? What happened to the decency of me for you and you for me? Don't we all want the same damn thing, safe haven for our families? I'm not trying to take away your guns. It's not a battle lost or a battle won, just a struggle to find a way to make some sense of it. When did this all fall apart? It's like a shot right through the heart of the struggle to find the answers on the face of it. It's the guns, it's not the guns, must be the people, not the people. Can we all agree to disagree, but find our way together? What happened to the decency of me for you and you for me? Don't we all want the same damn thing, safe haven for our families? And I pray it's not too late to find a way, before we lose another soul. Come a day when we can compromise on the common ground of saving lives before another aftermath can take its toll. Now do you believe in God above? 'Cause if you do, you know there won't be trouble for those angels up in heaven. Down here on this earthly soil, it's a death-defying mortal coil when trouble finds an AK-47. It's the guns, it's not the guns, must be the people, not the people. Can we all agree to disagree, but find our way together? What happened to the decency of me for you and you for me? Don't we all want the same damn thing, safe haven for our families? So today, the day that we're recording this, is January 9th, 2018, and I wrote this song on New Year's Day. So it's brand new, right out of the gate, and it's called New Year's Day. I know this drive like the back of my hand, but there are some roads I don't understand. 'Cause somehow tonight we're raising a toast to those that we love and are missing the most. We're turning the page, leave our troubles behind. It's New Year's Eve in a glass of red wine. It is what it is. I can still hear you say, you gotta move on at the end of the day. We've been here before, we'll be here again, saying goodbye to another dear friend. It doesn't seem fair, and it doesn't seem right. but it's out of our hands and into the light. We're turning the page, leave our troubles behind. It's New Year's Eve in a glass of red wine. It is what it is. I can still hear you say, but you gotta move on at the end of the day. One day at a time is all you can do. The head and the heart will guide you through. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Where would we be without the company of friends? We're turning the page, leave our troubles behind. It's New Year's Eve in a glass of red wine. It is what it is. I can still hear you say, but you gotta move on at the end of the day. It is what it is. I can still hear you say, but you gotta move on. It's New Year's Day. This song is called Tall Drink of Water, and tall drinks of water come in all heights and all shapes and sizes, but I kind of like the metaphor, so it's Tall Drink of Water. Ever since time took a holiday, every single minute of every single day, when the sun comes up with a coffee cup, I just think about it's a random day, what the day will bring. If you open up your heart can sing like an angel coming home to you. Like a tall drink of water to quench my thirst for a while. As we get closer to the border, you have a way to make me smile. Never say never, don't ask why. If you can say hello, you can say goodbye, 'cause when you know, you really know for sure. So let me know when you figure it out, beyond the pale, without a doubt. In the middle of it all, you knew you had it all along. Like a tall drink of water to quench my thirst for a while. As we get closer to the border, you have a way to make me smile. Sooner or later comes a hurricane. We'll toast the clouds with a glass of champagne. In the aftermath, we'll all rise again. There's a little less, there's a little more, but everyone's been there before, and you never can tell what's around the bend. Like a tall drink of water to quench my thirst for a while. me smile.
That was a slide of some of the future shows we're going to have for the next couple months, so come back. LisaBeth, I know that you are a cancer survivor, and what I wanted to ask you about that, has that influenced your songwriting, your music in any way?
Wow. I don't know if it's influenced my songwriting, although I try and write songs that are universal in a sense of that, sure it comes from, personal life sometimes, but I try to just kind of inherently make it universal so that other people can, feel something from it. I've never written specifically about my cancer, although I did write a thank you song to people that helped me back then. It was in 2000, so 2018 is my 18th anniversary, knock wood. It was thyroid cancer. But I've just recently written a couple of songs that for my the recent passing of a dear friend, Maggie Marshall, who sang with me, was my singing partner and bass player for 10 or 12 years. I played solo for 10 years, and then Maggie and I played together. And then a few years ago, we stopped playing, but our friendship was always strong. And she just recently went through a very short and horrific battle with cancer, and she's literally been gone just a few months, not even. So it was really hard. A lot of people out there may remember us playing together, and so I've just recently written 2 songs that were just. It's hard to explain with the songwriting process, but one of the songs is one of the ones you're doing today, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna play it, but something spoke to me about just go for it, because your program, the Performing Songwriter, this is part of the process. So I know I kind of took a tangent on your question, but it just kind of triggered this. Maggie meant a lot to me as a friend and music partner, and I spent a lot of time with her and her husband during the illness and after, and many, many friends. And so coming out of that has been some, looking forward into 2018 with some gusto and life's too short. And I had some of that when I went through my illness as well, of course, life's too short. I think that's the thing. And my mantra for 2018 is look for the good. Look for the good. There's always good, to balance out things. Yeah.
Now you have, and maybe you still do, write custom songs for people.
Yes, I do offer that as a service. I would love to do more of that as well, where if people have a special occasion, a birthday, a wedding, anniversary, graduation, Mother's Day, new baby, it's a great time to get a song that's specially for you. And people, it's not something that necessarily people think about, but it's something that that I can provide if they're interested. Sure.
And is the process? It must be somewhat different than writing a song for something that you're familiar with.
Well, it's interesting because my music, I'm kind of doing a little bit more on the side now, and my primary work is professional freelance writing for clients. So in a way, I approach it similarly to that. I meet with the client, discuss what they'd like to, what's important to them, what their background is. I feel like everyone has a story, and I love telling people stories. So whether I'm writing, a bio for a client or a press release or a web copy or whatever it is, if I'm writing a song, I want to make sure I get their story right. So if they want the song written about their daughter who's having a birthday, or their an engagement or whatever it is, I want to meet with them and make sure that I get their story right. So, and then I put it into song, and then record it and deliver it.
Cool. Now, you have 3 CDs. I want to show all of them. This one, LisaBeth Weber, Almost Live Sessions.
The Almost Live Sessions, yep.
And this one, which I have this one, I'm pretty sure. the farmhouse sessions.
Yes.
But I want to specifically have you talk about, this is your most recent one with Maggie that
Yes.
you mentioned before. And this is called the Fire Tower Sessions. A lot of sessions.
Yes, I like the sort of, feeling of the session, music sessions or sessions.
Talk a little bit about the CD.
This was a really exciting project. We got to record with my engineer and producer, who is also a dear friend, Bill Vorndick in Nashville. And Bill is, I call him a musical chef. He's a genius. He's a big Grammy winner and does a lot with bluegrass and has recorded just about everyone under the sun. And it's another really long story how I know Bill, but it's through kind of some small world stuff and just kind of reaching out. And we became friends over the years, and I had always said to him, like, would you ever record someone like me, or do you only record, these big acts? And he's like, sure, what do you got? So it took a long time till the timing was right. And Maggie and Jimmy, Maggie's husband Jimmy, and myself, and their 2 dogs and their nephew, drove down to Nashville in their 28-foot camper called Harvey the RV, and there's a song on my first record called Get Back in Your RV, Harvey, so they named their motorhome after that. And we recorded it, and it was really a dream come true. Johnny Hyland is on the record, who's an amazing guitar player, and Jonelle Mosser, who is just about the best living singer I've ever known. And I just feel really blessed to have been able to do that project and have, Maggie with me doing that. And Maggie and I had this magic with harmonies, which I will miss for the rest of my life.
I bet.
But I don't want to cry on your camera, so I'll leave it there.
So if people want to learn about your music and also with all the other stuff that you do, what's the best way for them to do that?
Probably through my website, which is my name. So it's LisaBethWeber.com, and I'm sure you'll have it on the thing.
Yeah.
It's Weber with 1 B, like the grill. And, I'm on all of the social media. So, since this is a video in perpetuity, who knows what the next thing will be. But all the different forms of social media, they should be able to find me, LisaBethWeber.com.
LisaBeth, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ray.
Love your songs. I've always loved your songs.
Such a pleasure to do this. And thank you for all you've done for the music community for so many years. And I can't wait till you get interviewed. I'll be watching that.
On the 99th show, I'm going to be interviewed.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then.